Hello, my name is Quintin Collins, and I am the Assistant Director of the Solstice MFA and Creative Writing Program.
And I'm Meg Kearney. I'm the founding director of the Solstice MFA and Creative Writing Program here at LaSalle University.
Welcome to our virtual info session recording. Here you can see an agenda of the items that we are going to cover. We're going to start with some information about start dates and structure. Then we're going to move on to concentrations and the tracks that we have available for the program. We're going to talk a bit about our faculty, what it's like to be a Solstice student, information about tuition, fellowships, and scholarships. Then we're going to go through the admissions process, so what it's like to apply to the program. And then we're going to kind of end with an overarching why you should consider Solstice. So first, I'm going to pass it over to Meg, and then Meg can start and tell you a bit about start dates and structure.
Q. So when can you start? The short answer is July or January. Solstice is a 60-credit, 2-year program that represents the terminal degree required for anyone who wants to teach creative writing at the college level, which tends to be about 20% of our students. While all of our students are hoping to grow as writers and be part of a supportive community while in the program and after they graduate. Our low residency structure is designed for people with jobs and maybe family obligations, and they need a flexible schedule. They can't pick up and move to Iowa, for example, to earn their degree. Low residency means that students and faculty are physically on campus for 5 10-day residencies over the course of their 2 years, alternating between July and January. The first 4 residencies kick off the 4 semesters, which are independent study periods when students return home and work one-on-one with their faculty mentor. And they work with their mentor through the mail, through email, and now Zoom. During their 5th graduating residency, students are not only in workshop and taking craft classes, but they also teach a 1-hour graduate lecture, and they give a reading as part of their final requirements. And then we have an amazing graduation ceremony near the residency's end. Some students, for instance, those who teach in K through 12 schools, need to come just 1 residency and semester a year. Usually that's the summer residency in July and fall semester. And so they just need to take 4 years instead of 2 to complete their degree, and that's just fine.
Thank you, Meg. So now I'm going to talk a bit about our concentrations that we have in the program. We offer 5 concentrations: comics and graphic narratives, creative nonfiction, fiction, poetry, and writing for young people. While you must declare 1 concentration when you enter the program, we do offer opportunities for cross-genre study. You can take any class in any genre during the on-campus residencies. Additionally, you can study in another genre during your 2nd semester to determine if you'd like to switch or stick with your initial choice for your 3rd and 4th semesters or 2nd year in the program. We also have an optional pedagogy track, which can give you the knowledge and skills you need to teach at the college and university level. This offering is completely free and includes additional coursework to help you grow as an educator. Key aspects of the track include 4 specialized courses, observation of a college level composition course, teaching a writing workshop in your community, and using that workshop teaching experience as research for your critical thesis. We also have a forthcoming social action and writing track, so be on the lookout for that in the near future. And now I'll pass it back to Meg, and Meg will talk a bit about our faculty.
Thanks, Q. So since our founding in 2006, the Solstice program has had a mission to nurture all the diverse voices of America and beyond. One of the ways that we work to accomplish that is by hiring a diverse faculty, diverse in every sense of the word. But all of our faculty and our writers in residence and faculty at large have a few things in common. They're all phenomenal writers who love to teach and mentor fellow writers. And they want to be part of a program that's inclusive and not focused on hierarchies. Students have lots of access to faculty and to staff both. You'll be sitting next to them at lunch or chatting with them in the Arno Lounge after a reading. So I invite you to check out our faculty members' bios on our website, and you'll see how amazing they are.
All right, so what can you expect in your life as a Solstice MFA program student? The program is in many ways what you make of it. In terms of community, you have fellowship with a group of people who get it. For those of us who are writers who obsess over the written word, we know what that particularly means to talk with people who understand our passion. They understand what it means to agonize over word choice, fret about whether the point of view fits the story, even things like whether it's a sin to dog-ear pages in the book while we're reading. And then we have the flexibility that you get with the program structure. During the semester, you complete your work when it's best for you. You work with your mentor and you set a series of deadlines to complete the work. And in between those deadlines in the independent semester, you can work however you see fit. So if you write in the morning, you can do that. If you write at night, you can do that. You can write during your commute, lock yourself in the bathroom to write if you need to because your family's trying to cut into your solstice time. Read a book while you're in the checkout line at the grocery store, a favorite tip from Meg. Whatever works for you as long as you're meeting those deadlines that you set with your mentor during your independent study. And within all of that, you get a curriculum that follows the Solstice program's philosophy of, helping you become the best version of yourself as a writer and a reader. We want you to leave the program writing your stories better than when you came in. And this is all as a result of the diverse perspectives that we get from our faculty and an approach that gives you a critical and creative toolkit to succeed with your writing. And now I'm going to pass it back to Meg, and Meg is going to talk a bit about our current tuition and fees.
Thanks, Q. So here you see an outline of our current tuition and fees. Another way that we strive to serve a diverse population of students is to keep tuition and fees as low as possible, and to offer Writers Helping Writers scholarships, which are need-based, as well as several fellowships. Depending on if you apply for a fall or a spring start, so July or January start, available fellowships include the Kurt Brown Fellowship for Diverse Voices, the Monica Hand Fellowship for Non-Traditional Students, the Francis Toner Fellowship for Veterans, the Debuse Fellowship for Native and Indigenous Writers, and 4 genre-based fellowships covering fiction, creative nonfiction, poetry, and writing for children and young people. And Quintin mentioned that we're going to be rolling out our social action and writing concentration or track next summer, fall, and we will also have the Billy Still Fellowship for writing and social action that will roll out at the same time as that new track. You'll note that LaSalle University currently charges $626 per credit. And again, this is a 60 credit program. We might see a slight increase in tuition in summer, fall 2024. We're not sure yet. But still, our cost is in line with just a couple of other low residency programs and lower than most. And just a quick note about scholarships and fellowships. Fellowships are $1,500 and take the form of a tuition discount off the first semester's tuition, whereas scholarships are a total of $4,000 and are provided as tuition discounts or $1,000 toward each of a student's 4 semesters in the program. So the application process is fairly simple. The highlights of your application include 3 things. One is your 4 to 5 page entrance essay in which you talk about things like what you're reading and which author's work influences your own, and maybe what obstacles you might have to putting in 25 hours of work per week on your degree. And then there's your manuscript, a set of pages of poetry or memoir or fiction or graphic novel, depending on your genre. And our guidelines let you know how many pages are required based on your genre. And last, there's 2 recommendation forms, which are sent to your recommenders electronically, making it very easy for them to complete. So note that your recommendations don't have to come from a former writing teacher. We have lots of students who were not English majors, but Those recommendations should come from people who can attest to the fact that you're serious about your art and you would get along well in a community of fellow artists. Once we have all of your materials, it generally takes about 10 days for us to give you an answer. Quintin.
Thank you, Meg. And so, after all the nuts and bolts information, why should you consider Solstice? So some key questions to think about are, do you need a community to thrive as a writer rather than competition? Do you want to have dedicated time and space, physical and mental, to work on your writing while maintaining your other obligations and needs? Do you want a lifelong network of friends, mentors, first readers, second readers, third, fourth, fifth, and so on? And do you want to write your own stories with more intentionality and knowledge of craft? Because at Solstice, we believe that every story matters. Then Solstice is the place for you. Consider how you want to grow as a writer, still be who you are as a writer, and come out knowing more than you did coming in while writing better stories, poems, comics, and novels. If that's what you need, then Solstice can be the place for you. Thank you for listening. This concludes the end of the recording. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.